Oh look, I love festivals. I was in Bendigo last year for the Bendigo International Exploratory Music Festival that David Chisholm runs, and had a great time. There are a lot of people from Melbourne who came up, and I think a lot of local people who really enjoyed that. And I believe passionately that a festival is an opportunity for people who live in the place where the festival happens to experience their city in a new way. And I love the energy of festivals. It's an energy that you build up to this incredible climax, and then you have this amazing experience. You bring people from out of town often, and the people who are in the local area can do things they may not do otherwise. And I guess I'm attracted to that energy and the experience that people can have as a result of that. So yes, you're right. I've worked at the Melbourne Festival for many years under different artistic directors, under Leo Schofield, under several others as well. And then I went with Leo to the Sydney Festival. Again, same sort of festival, International Arts Festival, different city, and also a different time of year. So it was in summer, so very much a summer festival. And then we did an extraordinary festival in New York, and I was there just when that festival, I attended the first festival when I wasn't working at City Centre, and that particular festival is all about accessibility. All the tickets for that festival are $10, and it's a dance festival, and when you pay your $10, you go into a theatre where I work, New York City Centre, which was a 2,500 seater. Every ticket is $10, and you'll see 4 different dance companies each night, and they're deliberately diverse across the art form. So you may see on the roster for one night Indian dance, followed by classical ballet, followed by some hip hop, followed by some flamenco. And so what we wanted to do there was demonstrate that there is an audience for dance when cost is no longer a barrier. And that was pretty amazing, and that's actually still a standard on the New York Arts calendar. It's going on, I think it celebrated its 10th festival recently, and it's also expanded, so they actually do some forfeit dance performances in Central Park now. And going to New York, the principles were the same. The scale was just much larger. So, for example, at City Centre, I had a board of directors of 30, and that's normal. And I actually love a big board now. People in Australia think I'm crazy. We had a small board at the festival. We had only 10, but I love a big board. And so that was really interesting. And my venue, we did a big capital campaign when I was there, and so we needed to raise $75 million to renovate the theatre. And we did that, and that again in terms of scale is a lot larger than a lot of the arts capital projects that you would find in Australia. So it was a question of scale that was different in New York, as opposed to the fundamentals were still the same. You're still working with a team of people, you're motivating a team of people, and fundraising is pretty much 101. There are basic things that if you do those and you follow a certain trajectory, you'll get the results.
There is a difference in the funding, though, with a lot more endowment, isn't there, in the States? So, how did that affect you with raising the money?
Well, I think, again, there was a much bigger pool of people, and here, one of the things I was pleased about with the Melbourne Festival, that we did institute 100% board giving. So in America, when you sit on a board of a major cultural institution, you give money. You basically give or get off. That's what people say. So all of my board members gave to the City Centre, and they gave. In America, what happens with wealthy philanthropic individuals, you compete. Most of these individuals give to 3 causes. They give to their alma mater, wherever they've been. They give to a health cause, often that has impacted them in one way or another, and then we were competing in that third space of the arts or environment or health, what have you. So that was very interesting. In Australia, again, the pool is much smaller. But still, the principles are the same. And I think more and more in Australia, the culture of philanthropy is growing. It's becoming a chic thing to do. In the States, it's very chic to give, and that's great. And we want to encourage that more here. And I think slowly it's starting to happen. The other interesting thing about America is that someone with my background, which is much more of a marketing, fundraising, a market side of the administrative side of the arts, running an arts organisation, in Australia it was very often people who had come up through the artistic side of the artistic pursuits would run an arts organisation, and now it's much more common that someone with my background ends up in a sort of a leadership position, certainly from a business perspective. So, that was another difference, and that's an interesting thing to reflect upon back here.